I'm gonna come over here as well. Okay, everybody. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we are, whole family here to answer some Q&A. And the first question that people usually ask me all the time is, why do you let your kids put their face on the internet? They say children are not old enough to have to know if they want to have their video up or not. So let me ask you guys something. How do you feel about being on video?
I feel good.
You feel good?
Like I'm flying.
Oh, you feel like you're flying? I sometimes feel like that. Do you guys think that 7 and 4 is old enough to make a decision if you want to be on camera or not?
I think four is not old enough to get like a bank account and all that. So I don't get why a 4-year-old would work if they're not even old enough to get a bank account to spend the money that they make.
Well, let me ask you, Wiley. Why would you like to work?
Because they want money.
Because I want money. Very good reason.
I want to buy candy. I don't just want money. I want to entertain people.
Oh, you don't just want money, you want to entertain people. Good policy as well. I love that. So here's the thing. Remember how your friends were like, your mom has a lot of TikTok followers?
Yeah.
Do you know why mommy has a lot of TikTok followers?
Because you're really good at working and you're really good at making videos.
Thank you. My videos solve big problems for people. So if you want to make money, what you do is solve a problem.
And we had a pool house.
We have a what, baby?
Pool house?
Oh, we have a house with a pool. Mhm. Yeah, that's right. So let me tell you guys something. It's true that work always gives you money, but there's many different types of jobs that you can have. There's jobs that are fun and are you guys at work? You're playing drawers.
Open it.
Hey,
Playing drawers.
Wiley, Reiner's really good at coming to work. This is your first time at coming to work. But when we're at work, Reiner, can you tell Wiley what are the rules when we're at work?
Not to mess around.
Yeah, we don't mess around. So it is actually very hard. And it is a big, hey, look, mom, it is a big deal for a 4-year-old. It is a big deal for a 4-year-old. So if you get tired during this call, you can go. But what we're not going to do is play, you understand? So today we answer questions and the questions come from our app, which is called Safehouse. Now at Safehouse, a lot of people come to our school because they went to school for jobs and they didn't like the jobs that they got at all. Can you think of a job that you would hate to have?
I have a dead unicorn.
You'd hate to have a dead unicorn.
I would hate to have a job that has no excitement and there's nothing fun to do.
Yes. So
because working is supposed to be fun, but also at the same time important.
yes. Now here's the thing. A lot of people don't understand that work is supposed to be fun. They believe that work is supposed to be something that you hate. Now, if you love doing something, you're going to be really good at it. And if you're really good at it, you're going to make the most money doing it. So it's really important that you're able to connect doing things that you like with making money because there's always a way. You understand? There's always a way to take something that you really like and find a way to make money off of it. Now, it doesn't mean that everything you like has to turn into money. I'm just saying things that you're good at, things that you like doing will always make you money. So mommy's always liked to talk since I was very little, and now I get to talk all I want. Do your children watch the videos they're in? If so, how do they feel when they see themselves? So do you ever watch a video that you've been in?
No.
What about those like smaller ones that we made? Remember we made the running videos and the Sonic videos and stuff like that, the cat video, like funny videos?
That was when I was very young.
Yeah. Honestly, for me, I hardly ever watch these videos back because we have like 1,000 of them, but I don't know. Would you like to watch this video back and see yourself on camera or you don't care?
Right.
I don't really care either. Okay, so maybe we're going to answer some questions here, but first, if you would like to ask us questions, then you can enroll at our school. We're getting ready to enroll our second semester. Our semesters always begin with wealth teachings. We have beginners wealth teachings in January and then advanced wealth teachings in August and September. So this is where all the questions are coming from. You guys will hear our assistants telling us or asking us these questions. And my kids are here to observe and also to help a little bit. Now you said, excuse me to me, is that right?
Yeah.
What do you want to say?
I wanted to say, is your book done now?
No, my work is going to be done in about 1 hour. But if you're tapped out, you just let me know when it's time for you to go. Okay, there's a big deal. You don't have to stay here the whole time. All right, so let's start with questions. Saraswati, go ahead.
I'm curious, when you changed your name in the past, did you change it on all of your official documents? And what circumstances need to occur if you want to change your name?
The answer to that is no. I have never changed my name legally. And why? Because it's a fucking shit ton of paperwork and I don't care. I also love an instant notification of stranger danger. So it's like if somebody calls him Rainer, we know that they don't know him in real life. If somebody calls our daughter Tega, we know that they don't know her in real life, that it's coming from the internet. If the phone rings and somebody's asking for my government name, I know that it's either a scam or some type of but governments don't call you, they communicate in paper. So if anyone calls asking for my legal name, I know it's a scam. So I love that the government has my legal name. I've never really felt any pressure or anything to change it. But even just changing your name on the internet is quite a feat. And also, now on with like Facebook and stuff, like I'll never be able to get my blue check mark on social media. Not that that means anything special anymore, but I'm not going to be able to get my blue check on social media because that is not my legal name. So it's all kind of, I care less and less about that, but no, have never done it. And not even when we got married. I have the paperwork to change my last name to my husband's last name, but you know, I don't care. Reiner, would you change, if you changed your name, would you communicate with the government so that you could have a new name on all of your IDs, or would you just change your name for fun?
I'll just change it.
It's a lot of paperwork. Basically, anytime there's a lot of paperwork, we're like, no. We even had to wait until we could get married on Zoom for 3 minutes. All right, Wiley, if you changed your name, what would you change it to?
Please.
Ice?
Please.
Oh, Eilis?
Yeah.
That's a cool name. What about
Please.
Periwinkle?
Baba. Kindergarten. Mommy. Angels.
Reiner wanted to change his name a lot when you were a kid, Reiner, you wanted us all to call you Amy for for a while.
Amy.
But that's just because it was the character on Sonic Reiner was obsessed with. But we also wanted to change your name to Sonic. And you guys tell us here in the comments, if you changed your name, what would you change it to?
That was like 5 years ago.
Okay, let's do our next question.
Can you confirm that my understanding of super efforts is correct? An additional action, ritual, or practice that you implement to help you stay on octave when going through your side quest at point 369/0.
So it's truthfully at 368, but we're not going to split hairs on it. What's our human design? Because that's an excellent definition.
5-1 generator.
Very good definition. Yeah, the only little add-on that I would put there is that your attitude with super efforts is everything. So not I have to do this, it's like I get to do this. If you've fallen off octave and you want to get back really fast, you double down on your spiritual practice. And how they describe this in the fourth way is that if you're walking home in the rain, that's an effort. A super effort would be getting home from walking in the rain and with a great attitude going for an additional walk in the rain. Not just the part that you had to do, but the additional part that you get to do, doubling down on your spiritual practice, basically. Next question, please.
What's Empress Academy about, and do I need a product or active business to benefit from it?
Empress Academy is an old workshop from like 2019, and it's just basically a commentary on on how marketing is a seduction and how these two things work together. I would call, there's nothing in Empress that I feel like is required listening. It's really just, take it in like a podcast, but that was everything I knew about business from, let's say, maybe 2015 to 2019. I got a lot of business mentorship, tore down and rebuilt my business between 2021 and 2023, and like tens of thousands of dollars of mentorship. And all of that is in Fuckless and Erotic Wealth, respectively.
Where do you recommend learning everything I need to know about my human design?
Oh, I just got a lot of mentorship with it. I'm just gonna pause this answer for 1 second. On Instagram, if you guys have a question for a 4-year-old Wiley or 7-year-old Reiner, please drop it in the comments here. And we'll ask if you guys have any questions for these specifically. Also, Wiley's a Sagittarius and a 2-4 manifesting generator, and Reiner's a Taurus and a 6-2 manifesting generator. And Tyga's a 5-1 MG, and Magic and I are 6-3 generators and 6-2, he's a 6-2 generator. So where I recommend learning about human design, I just got a lot of mentorship on it. My favorite resources, I've done probably like 40 hours of one-on-one sessions, not how can I learn more about human design for everybody, but how can I learn more about human design for me, especially when it comes to parenting and when it comes to working with my partner. So Stephen Rebolledo at Genetic Yoga is like my master teacher. He worked directly with Ra Uru Hu. And then his former assistant, Jujana or Juji, who her handle is HD by Z. She's great. She really specializes in relationships. Her YouTube is really good. I've done a lot of sessions with her, and I really recommend her for like a beginner's. She really makes things like easy to understand. And then I'll go and like look through some archival stuff. Richard Rudd's book Richard Rudd's book Circuitry is really good. I also, Richard Belmont's videos on YouTube I recommend, but I've only seen the ones that are relevant to my family things. Okay, here's a couple of questions. Wiley, what would you do on a play date with a unicorn?
Lie together.
Lie together? Really? Oh, fly. Oh, fly together. Oh, wow. If you had a play date with a unicorn, but does a unicorn have wings? So if it was a play date, well, I thought you said only alicorns have wings.
Yeah, they do.
Okay, so if you had a play date with a unicorn that did not have wings, what would you do?
Eating candy.
You'd eat candy with a unicorn? Doesn't that sound great? Not get poked in the butt, right?
Please make candy for me at home.
Oh, that sounds great. Here's a question. Reiner, what are you excited about?
I'm excited about working. It's just really fun.
I'm excited about working. It's really fun.
Excited about my snorkels.
You're excited about your snorkels. Reiner, what's your favorite experiment that you've done so far?
Well, my favorite experiment is to mix stuff and see what happens.
Not your turn. Well, what's your favorite things you've mixed together?
I've mixed together soap and like baking powder, and it makes like, you know those videos where there's like those people that put Coke and Mentos together and they make those big foamy things? You can
Yeah.
do that with soap and baking powder and water.
But you know what I gotta ask you? We watched so many videos about Coke and Mentos. Have we ever mixed Coke and Mentos?
No.
Would you like to?
Yes.
If we did, would you want to film it or would you want to just experience it in the moment?
I just want to experience it and see. I want to film it. And see the next time if I want to film it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm also kind of that way. Well, not so much anymore. Now I just try everything on camera in case it works, but a lot of times what it does doesn't work. Okay, let's do another question. And then guys, save your questions for Reiner and Wiley. We'll do a few more for our students and then we'll come back to Reiner and Wiley. And thank you for such interesting and artful questions. Okay, next.
I heard you talking about ancestral lines in human design, specifically about revealing whether or not you're a community-oriented person. How do I find out that detail?
They were like, when people are like, I heard you talking about this, I know right away if it's something I said or not. So ancestral is definitely not, I don't talk about ancestors like at all. But it's not ancestral lines, it's your circuitry. So you either have tribal, individual, or collective. And this is a hard thing. We have a resource for this. You can look it up in that lesson of Fuckless. You can just look up, go to the workshops tab, use the search button and put in like tribal and it should come up. But basically you are wired to either have collective. So I have a lot of collective channels, which means that the epiphanies and stuff I get on are on behalf of a collective. Magic has a lot of personal channels, which means, and Reiner has a lot of personal channels, which means that he's wired to have personal epiphanies and be a role model through his own personal growth, not so much directing others what to do, more inspirational. And then there's tribal, and these are people that do really well in communities. There are no, hey, no, there are no tribal lines in our family. So actually, let me give you guys a really good example of what it's like to be a family with no tribal lines. Yesterday, I wanted us to go to the beach all together as a family. But our family doesn't really do well doing things all together as a family. It's actually very rare to see us all together. It's much better for our family because the majority of them, these two in Magic, all have hermit lines. We do much better when we all kind of have our own little projects and do our own individual little things. So yes, we miss out on a lot of Kodak moments with the whole family, but when we try and force things to happen all together, it doesn't really work so well. So no tribal lines in our family, which is why we have a school and not a mastermind and not retreats and not, we're not like huggers. So next question, please.
What do I do? You've said we
I don't know.
teach what we're called to teach, and I want to teach more about science and magic to get the life you want. The only coachings I've sold were on dating manifestation. My content has astro and human design, and I get good engagement and views, 400 to 700 in 6 months. 400 to 7,000. Lead magnets, about breakup. So my question is, can I both widen my voice by also niching down hard, as long as every idea and thought leads back to you can get everything or anything you desire when you capitalize on the magic and science? Confused projector.
Projector. So projectors are here to inform thoroughly. And I'm not going to give you words to answer this. I'm just going to show you by my example. I have 6 different workshops. They're all very different, one from another. They're all totally different, specific tools for specific things. If you open a toolbox, you don't have just like one cure-all tool. Now, a lot of projectors do have one like iconic program, and everybody does have a core offer. Like Wheels Reinvented was really the core offer for the last 7 or 8 years. Now Erotic Wealth is going to be the core offer, and it's I'm telling you, when I start talking about eroticism, like people do not want to hear about it. I lose so much. I'm always censored. People always have their fucking fanny in a twist. Like I lose subscribers, the whole thing, but it's destiny and it's what I care about. And it's something that I know I have a destiny with. So the same way that like Henry Ford says, if I asked people what they wanted, they would have told me they wanted a faster horse. It's actually relevant for you, Reiner, the guy that invented the first car. His name was Henry Ford. And but nobody, if he went and asked people, hey, do you want a car? Nobody could say, yeah, I want a car, because it didn't exist yet. So if Henry Ford had gone around asking people, what do you think I should make you? They'd say, you should make me a faster horse. So when you have a deep connection with something and you know you got to do it, do that shit for you and be happy with anybody that shows up, and it will succeed eventually. It will succeed eventually. So just keep trying, even if you get really bitter about the turnout with it. If it's destiny, just keep trying, just keep trying. If nothing else, you'll put it in a book form. But my example says, have a lot of different workshops. Don't pigeonhole yourself, and enjoy that each of these get a moment in the sunlight. So after we teach about marketing, then we teach about trauma. When we teach about money, then we teach about spirituality, and we just let them all have their own lanes. Let's get another question for Reiner and Wiley. Reiner, what's your favorite part of vacation so far?
The water and everything, just the heat. It's very nice.
Yeah, the water and the heat is very nice. Your hair is you're a striking looking kid, right? Do you like seeing yourself on camera or not really?
Not exactly.
Not exactly. Wiley, do you like seeing yourself on camera?
Yeah, but I'll just tell you what I like about Costa Rica.
Okay.
Jumping in the pool.
Jumping in the pool. Did you guys know Wiley can pick her nose with her tongue? Look at that. And they say unschooling doesn't teach you anything. Wiley, what's your favorite color?
Pink and purple.
Pink and purple. If you had to choose between pink and purple, what would it be?
Pink purple.
Pink purple. Okay, cool. Good answer. All right. Thank you very much. Now it's time for a question for mommy. And the next question, we'll see what comes up. But the next question that comes up, we'll see who wants to try to answer it.
Me.
Okay, don't worry, student on Safehouse. This is not surprise. Welcome to the mastermind. My assistant will be your leader. Let's try a question.
What does the term occult mean?
What does the term occult mean? I actually don't know. Let's look it up together. Yeah, so here's a situation. Reiner, do you know what the word occult means?
I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure when I use it, I certainly,
I think it means business. I have no idea.
the occult to me means everything that's behind the curtain, arcane, secret teachings related to the unseen world, usually that require initiation to get to, but let's look it up. We started using the term occult business school because so many of our students described us as an occult business school. So let's see, who's ready to learn a new word?
Me.
Great. Occult, supernatural, so as a noun, the occult. It means supernatural, mystical, or magical beliefs, practices, or phenomena, a secret society to study alchemy and the occult. And then as an adjective, which is how we use it for occult business school, involving or relating to supernatural, mystical, or magical powers or phenomena. So I think that's pretty cool. I got kind of sick of the word spiritual because I didn't like how it was being used, but I think that part of my next growth spurt will involve just relaxing more deeply and people calling me a spiritual teacher. It's just, I feel like it's so weird. I guess Sadhguru calls himself a mystic. What would you guys describe me as what I do?
I would describe you as a manifest. I keep forgetting it.
Metaphysical?
No, manifesting generator.
Oh, you'd call me a manifesting generator? Thanks. I'm a generator though. Wiley, what would you call me? Like if you could describe my job, and you guys in the comments, maybe you guys can help me here because I tell people a lot, don't worry about describing yourself, other people will.
I'll call you Dolly. You
would call me Dolly. Okay,
no,
thank
Dolly.
you. Toilet?
Dolly.
Oh, Jolly?
Yeah.
You. Yeah, tell me how you guys would describe me in the comments. Let's do another question. That was a good question. Mommy didn't know the answer to that question. So what do I do when I don't know the answer with something?
You try to find it out.
I can look it up. And what if I'm looking for an answer? This is a really, so guys, this is me asking you a question. You see mom? You see me?
Yeah.
And you don't need to see me to understand me. If I need an answer and I cannot find it by looking it up and there's nobody I can ask, how do I get the answer?
You ask me because I always know answers and stuff. Even sometimes when I don't know what something means, I anyways know it at the same time.
Let me ask you something. Have you ever been out in nature and you realized things that you were hoping to understand?
I do know that feeling, and I do know what it's like.
Let me tell you a question I have right now that nobody can answer for me that I very much need the answer to. How do I take, well, let me try asking you. Okay?
Okay.
How do I take a workshop that had 40 lessons and turn it into something that just has 10 lessons and still have it be that good?
I think you would make some lessons really good and some not the best, but still good.
Well, let me just repeat that answer to you. I would make some lessons not really good, but why would I make some lessons not really good?
I would say I said not really good, but at the same time good.
I want to understand more of what that means, and it might just take me some time. Are you saying maybe to have,
It means if something's not really good, you can make it good very easily.
okay, so are you saying go through all of the lessons in the workshop and decide which ones are not absolutely perfect? Get rid of those and only keep the ones that are really good.
No, not get rid of the ones that are not the best, but they're still good.
So what do I do with the ones that are not the best but still good?
You would try to add stuff to make it better, but not film it again.
Oh, I understand. So let me see if I'm painting this correctly. Because we've recorded every possible thing that needs to be recorded for this workshop and we're doing it live next time. I guess if I forget to add something, I can always just pull in one of the videos that we've recorded from another round, right?
And there's also the option to put two videos together and make a really good one.
That is an
So you
option.
can put two bad videos together and it'll make it's like if you match two bad paintbrushes together, it would make a good paintbrush.
You know, I like that you use the analogy of the paintbrush.
And if you made two bad videos, but you put them together, it would make a good video.
But let me ask you something. I like that you use the analogy of the paintbrush because that is an opportunity where two bad things could make some things really cool. But let me ask you something. Do you like broccoli?
I do.
Okay, sorry, we'll go to the next one. Do you like eggplant? What don't you like?
I still feel like I would like eggplant. I've never tried it, so how do I know I don't like it?
Okay, good plan. So, but if we mix together two things that we don't like, does it turn into something that we like?
Yes. If you make a little bit of something good and you put it together with two bad things, it will make a good thing. Just the slightest little bit of a good thing will make two bad things a good thing.
I need to test that. Let's go to the next one. That's something that I need to test. I'm willing to entertain the idea that that could be, I'm willing to entertain the idea that that could be true, but all I'm thinking of, if you gave me a bowl of pee-pee and then you added some doo-doo to it and then you put sprinkles on it, I don't know if it would make it good.
Ew, that's disgusting.
You know what I mean?
I do.
But I also know that when we make chocolate cakes, sometimes we add coffee to it, and you wouldn't think that that would be good. I don't know. I think that, well, but this is what I was saying. This is a question I have to know the answer to that nobody can answer except for me. So Pure, this is how I want to wrap all of this up. What do you do when there is a question you need the answer to that nobody can tell you the answer? No psychic can tell you. These are questions that usually have to do with the heart. Like, should I break up with this person or not?
I normally find out what I want most, and I do that.
That's a good question. What do you want most, and do that? But these are questions that only you can answer. So you need to ask yourself, where do I feel the most clarity? For a lot of people, it's in nature. Other people, it's related to their environment and human design. But what you never want to do is have this thing that's like so that you have to find the answer to and try and let someone else answer it for you and then go around the fucking wild goose chase with them. Because especially a lot of people, I'm sorry, Pierre, that this is a little clunky, but a lot of people in business are so certain that some coach is going to have the answer for them. And they go in, a lot of people, when they want to scale their business, they basically look for the most expensive coach that they can find and just do whatever the fuck that coach says. And I think that this is such a bad idea when it comes to, and not just for reflectors, but when it comes to scaling your business, everything that you need to grow is in the data that's behind you. Yes, you'll need to learn a couple more, business hacks or whatever, but very simple things, not $120,000 lessons, simple lessons, sales funnels, marketing funnels, maybe advertising, whatever. But where I see a lot of people making a mistake is just like handing over their business to somebody who has only successfully tricked you into thinking that they know how to drive your business better than you do. When you want to scale a business, all you need to really ask yourself is what's worked in the past and how can I do it again? And how can I do it more? That's the trick to scaling a business. You can save yourself a lot of money that way. So let's go on. Now, because I don't have any experience cutting the workshop from 40 lessons down to 10, it's just going to take a lot of neutral time for me. Let's do the next question.
Can you explain the correct perspective and approach on dealing with projection, infatuation, objectification, and limerence that gets projected onto many spiritual teachers?
Girl, I don't know what the fuck any of those words are. I literally don't know what any of that is. And I literally don't care what anybody else is doing. How I feel about me is what matters. What other people think about me, first of all, I can't prove what other people are thinking about me. I can't prove it. I can't control it. If I try and argue with them and say, no, you're saying you know the real me. I know you don't know the real me, but let me tell you who the real me is, because I really need you to know, like, I've spent so long trying to convert people that didn't even fucking care. And where the real growth happens, like, you can sit around trying to navigate what's going on in other people's heads. It'll never be successful. And at some point, you'll be so fucking frustrated that you just have to walk away. You can't control what other people think about you. You can't live in a world where everybody likes you. Stop trying to you don't like people. It's okay for people to not like you. It's okay for people to have ideas about you. What's not okay is to be in a zone where what people think about you starts to change the way that you think about you. And if you find that you're dealing with this even a little bit now, it's how, like, you only know that you're thirsty when you really actually need water. If you're starting to be a little bit bothered by this now, you need to ask yourself, how sustainable is this practice? How do I need to extract myself from the comment section? What boundaries do I need to put in to where I'm not stopped by what's going through some random person's head? Because can you ever be strong on terms like that? You do all your spiritual work and then some bozo that you don't even know, that you've never met, that you don't even like, says, I have an opinion about you. And then all of a sudden that's it, game over. Reiner, if somebody you didn't know said something about you, either that they really like you, even though they don't know you, or they really don't like you, even though they don't know you, how would you deal with that, with a stranger saying they know you when they don't?
I would walk away. I wouldn't let them know who I am. I just wouldn't.
That's the fucking key right there, people. That's the key right there. They don't know you, so don't let them know you. Don't be like, now it's time for me to explain myself to you, because how will I sleep at night if someone I don't know and don't care about is up at night saying that they know me when they don't and they care about me when they don't? That's the fucking pathology. They've got a problem. You don't have a problem. Very good answer.
Thank you.
Very good answer. Wonderful. Next question, please.
What chakra is indecision sprouting from, and how can it be tended to?
It's most likely coming from a fear of making the wrong choice. So you would know that this is either it's like analysis paralysis. So if you are just really afraid that you're going to lose everything if you make the wrong choice. So for example, should I be with this person, or should I get divorced? Yes or no? And it's like your whole stability would be upended it's just fear of choosing the wrong thing. But if you're worried about this endless like spiral of all of the different people that would be hurt and the butterfly effect, then I would say that's more in the anxiety realm. I would differentiate it by, is it one tangible problem that you're afraid of? Like, I'm going to divorce my husband and I'm going to regret it because I'll never get that stability back. Or is it like, I'm afraid of making this thing and putting it on the internet because everybody's going to take it the wrong way, and then I'm going to be canceled as a teacher, and then I'm going to be like, it's really, I mean, I even think that all of that is splitting hairs. I would say that indecision is just fear of making the wrong decision, and fear comes from the root chakra. I wouldn't even put it in the third chakra, honestly. I think it would just be that. I've never been asked that question before, so thank you for that question. Let's do the next question, please. Anyone want water?
No.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on online giveaways? Maybe I'm biased because I tend to win them a lot, but I'm curious to know how effective they are for increasing and retaining a genuine audience.
increasing and, okay, here's the question of the day, right? Do giveaways help me increase a genuine and engaged audience? Is my audience not engaged with the words that are coming out of my mouth, so I have to tantalize them with free giveaways of either my time or my money? I don't know what the fuck giving away things has to do with people valuing your work and your time. And I don't think that you should ever give your work away for free, period. I also don't think that you should give people money unless you're never going to see them again. But isn't the point to see these customers again? I'd rather us not scoot this glass of water around. I think that giveaways are this like bofo trend where it's about getting attention and not actually your intention behind it. So like, I'm going to try and get 500 people on my webinar by promising them that a giveaway is going to happen. Yeah, but who cares if there's 500 people on your webinar if they're all there for a freebie and none of them are going to pay you anyway? And then that's just shitty. Because then how do you feel after that? I had 500 people on my webinar and only 5 people bought. Therefore, my offer must be shitty. No, you just got way too many people on your webinar for the wrong reason. I think that that's such a bobo idea to do. We're all fucking adults here. We're all adults here. You don't have to make some deal with people. You know what I mean? But this person says, I've learned a lot by giving my quiz to some people. We're not talking about a lead magnet here. A lead magnet is a lead magnet. A lead magnet is a transaction. I give you free education in exchange for your attention and your subscription to my mailing list where I can market to you for free. That's a transaction. But doing some type of giveaway, it's going to be a one-on-one session with me. Ew, no. It's going to be a $50 Amazon gift card. Ew, right? Next question, please.
This is a random question about magic, not your husband. I'm super curious on your thoughts over the current Annabelle doll lore. The haunted doll that's inspired the Conjuring movies has been taken out of her box.
We're not going to talk about that. And I have no idea who is that. It's not that I don't want to talk about that because it's taboo or something for me. I'm just not opening those doors for these ears right here. Thank you.
Next one is asking for your feedback on a lead magnet.
Okay, cool. That and the question before I'll answer it personally, you can just park them in our text messages and I'll get to them later. I'll look at that lead magnet. Yeah.
Cool. Next.
One second. What was the question, Wiley?
When is your work gonna be done?
Are you feeling tapped? You can be all done right now if you want. You want to be all done?
Yeah, it's okay to take a break.
It's okay to take a break, May.
Why?
It's okay to take a break. Do you need a question that's just for you? Do you need a question that's just for you?
No.
Okay,
Well,
no problem.
Just want to take a break and.
Okay, well, look, Wiley, if you want to take a break, you just go right ahead, okay? All right. Divey. Next question, please.
But when is your work gonna be done?
When the questions are done, should be soon.
Where?
Go ahead,
Okay.
Sarah.
I'm on day 3 of the ritual, and oh my God, it's just the best experience. I cannot thank you enough. Do you have recommendations?
Right?
Wait for anything after 3. Do you have a recommendation for Ikigai online tests, or is it better to study your 4 lists and figure out what they agree on yourself?
It's just better and pure. This is a segment that I really want to go in with that lesson. So Saraswati as well, like in with that lesson. So your Ikigai can point out to you what it is that you're really good at, what you can be paid for, what the world needs. And this is a great step to kind of narrowing down what you should be doing. But then taking the next right step is also important. So I just want to reiterate, this is not work. I just want to reiterate that I started as a yoga teacher. That was the first thing that I loved. I loved yoga and I wanted to do it more. So I moved in that direction. After yoga, it wasn't enough for me. So I went to nutrition school and that's where I learned how to coach. And I did a whole lot of health coaching. Then my shit hit the fan and I made the pivot from nutrition coach to life coach gradually, organically, I didn't know, and I wouldn't have been able to see back then. So do more of what it is that you love, and it'll all come together, but you have to, it doesn't matter where you start from, it matters that you begin. So find the thing that you love. So Reiner, let me ask you, what's something that you love to do?
I love trying to find what I want and doing it.
You love what you want, trying to find what you want and doing it. Let me ask
I
you
like
this, and
I find what I want and try to do it in my own way,
so
not somebody else's way.
so something you'd like to do is teaching yourself things, is that right?
I like to teach myself things so other people, so I can teach myself the fun way. Other people don't teach me the fun way.
So what do you like to do? You like to make learning fun, is that right?
Yep.
Okay, very cool. And what's something that you're really good at? Are you also really good at making learning fun?
Yeah.
Let's ask Wiley. Wiley, did Reiner make learning swimming fun? So it's something that we're constantly working on. Okay. Now, what's something, does the world by any chance need learning to be fun?
No.
Do you think that the world experiences learning as being fun, or do you think that the world?
I think it does.
You do? Let's look and ask. I mean, yeah, because I think so. So can the world use more fun learning or not use more fun learning?
I think it could. I think it doesn't need enough, but at the same time, it needs more. I think it needs 20 more.
So I think what you're saying, Reiner, is that there, even though there's a lot of people making learning fun, there's always room for more people.
Yeah.
Okay. And one more thing. Do you think you would like to be paid for making learning fun?
It's not about being paid. It's about having fun.
That's true. But if you can get paid while having fun, would you want to?
I wouldn't, because it's more important to have fun than keep all your focus on making money. Because if you're making money while having fun, you just keep too much focus on making money and you don't have any fun at all.
Well, hang on one second, babe, because right now when I'm here in Q&A, I'm having fun and I'm not thinking of money at all. But I've made sure that people can pay me to have this experience. So even though I'm not thinking about making money right now, I am making money right now. Does that make sense?
It does.
My focus isn't on it, but that's because at other times, my focus is very much on making money. You know why? I didn't want to send you guys to school. I wanted to be able to be with you all the time. I wanted a lot of free time. So that would be the last part, but Ikigai, we're looking for what's the same on all of it. Cool, let's do the next question.
I'm trying to do an Enneagram and I was looking up fourth way stuff and it says the Gurdjieff points, it says in the Gurdjieff puts 0.3 as active and 0.6 as passive, but on the Enneagram class it says 3 is passive and 6 is active. Am I crazy? Did I change it later?
No, you're not crazy, but I think that you might be a little bit confused. I think that you might be a little bit confused about that because it's always the same, always, always, always. 0.6, always active, 0.3, always passive, and 0.0, always neutral. Always, always, always. So you can go and check what you read. Now look, the Enneagram is very dense work. I read a lot of books, did a lot of practice. I'm talking years behind the scenes before I brought this front and center and was showing you guys around it. I recommend getting J.G. Bennett's book, Enneagram Studies, but it's not going to be 3 is active there. 3 is always passive, because if we're going around the clock chronologically from 0 to 3 to 6, and we're talking about like making the fire, hey, Wiley, you're being disruptive here in this class, and it's okay if you need a break, but this is not what we're doing. Reiner's really good at keeping his hands to himself when you're good at keeping your hands to yourself, right? If we were building a fire at 0.0, what we would do is create the space, the fire pit. 0.3 is getting the passive principle. So that's collecting the fuel. The fuel is going to be burned up, but not destroyed. That's literally what passive does. When we make passive income, we are taking we're taking the active force out of it. and we're leaving behind videos. We've burned out our energy, but we haven't destroyed our energy. You cannot make a fire without fuel. You cannot get the active without the passive first. Passive has to come first. And this is something that we really saw a lot of problems with in erotic wealth, of people not wanting to take their first business passive. They say, okay, I created this business and now I want to go into art. So fuck my business and I'm an artist now. And we go, no, 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 no. You have to set that business passive. They go, I don't want to, I'm already burned out, I'm tired, I shouldn't. No, you need to do this. You cannot go for that active fire without collecting the fuel. You need financial fuel for your next creative venture, especially if it's something super creative like art or music or acting or something like that. You were given a few sacred gifts when it comes to business, and it's your job to see them all the way through to the finish line. The final form of a piece of passive income is a book. So if right now you're like, I'm really sick of teaching this workshop, maybe I've been teaching it for 3 years, entertain the idea of what it might look like in book form and how long it would take you, because that's how long you have until you can safely put it behind you. But a big mistake people make is they look at the success of that, for example, workshop that they're now burned out on, and they think that they can just repeat this with any other idea that crosses their mind. There's a few core offers that are really special that were granted to you, and you need to take care of them all the way. So that's what we cover in erotic wealth. Yes, Wiley?
I can't see.
You can't see? Here you go.
Mom, I need my store to be scared over.
Okay, so the reason why I scooted you over is because you were messing with Reiner. Now, look, it's okay to not be here right now, babe. It's okay to not be here right now. All right? You look like it's okay to not be here right now. Reiner had a lot of practice before he started coming to work. All right? You don't have to be here, okay?
Okay.
Are you ready to go in the pool? Okay. Well, you let me know.
No goes to go in the pool.
Okay, next question, please.
Can you let us in on how you take your pictures and how you turn them as if a professional photographer took them?
Yes, tripods, video mode, and not camera mode, not timer, count to 10 and then take a picture. Video with a song that you really like, and all of just only video. And if somebody's taking your picture, ask them to just take a video of you. Get a song and have a clear idea in your head of what you want it to look like, a picture that you can model it afterwards. Maybe go on Pinterest, look up, editorial photos or different things. Know how you want it to look in your mind and then just serve exactly that. What I would not recommend is trying to putting the timer on and then trying to get that shot perfectly. It just takes a lot of time. Get yourself a 3-minute video, making as many poses and big shapes as you can, ideally on selfie mode so that you can see what you're doing. And nowadays also, I'm not sure how, but my assistant, my web designer, was able to do this for me, clean up the quality of it in post-production. Let's do the next question.
How do I maintain relationships with my family members who are deeply into QAnon while staying on the fourth way path and not lying by agreeing with them? They really need the hope that it provides them, and I don't want to shatter that.
You don't need to agree with them. You just need to hear them out.
Mom,
Just say, take a little break. Say, I hear you. I hear you. You don't have to say, I agree with you. Say, I hear you. That's fine. That's fine. But anytime we have how do you question, we always like to just repeat it right back to you. So the question would be like, how do you maintain relationships with your family that are deeply into QAnon without, while still being on your fourth way work? You don't need to get involved with it. Just witness it. Yes? Sure. And I hear you is really good policy with kids as well, because you're not saying like yes, and you're not saying no, you're just saying, I hear you, but this is what it's got to be.
Ready?
Mhm.
I'm struggling with labeling my Enneagram. My goal is to scale my house flipping business to 20 flips per year.
Okay, that's very simple. Scale house flipping business. That's it.
Okay, this is long. Let me look for the question.
Well, I'll answer this question. How do you navigate when something comes so fast and so easily that it almost feels surreal and unmoored? Dump him. Pure in
In the background. Okay, I'm ready. Do you have any advice for balancing spiritual insight and grounded action while keeping your channel clean and not slipping into fear during third eye openings? How do you personally navigate that space between receiving intuitive downloads and making practical moves without disassociating or spiraling?
So this is a whole, like the paradox of the teacher is ascended slash grounded. So it's two things at once. Head in the clouds, feet on the ground, where you're able to be, and how you do that isn't by connecting with either your root or connecting with your head. It's connecting with your heart, your story, and being okay with like, this is where I'm at today. I just took in and just telling the story. So like in the heart, you always tell the truth. No matter what, you always tell the truth. So let's say your truth is, yesterday I was feeling really grounded and really sure and clear and grateful about where I am and where I'm going. But then I watched a really crazy video on YouTube, and now I just feel like I don't really know what's true or not, and I'm kind of spiraling on this whole new thing. When you just give yourself permission to talk about what's true right now, you see the thing is like, I took in information from YouTube and it made me feel different. Excuse me, kids. That's enough of that. Sort it out between yourselves right now. Reiner, you know the best way to solve it. Now use that best way to solve it. That's okay. Thanks for explaining it to her. But people are very resistant to just telling the truth because it's vulnerable. Because showing up and telling the truth of like, this is what I'm struggling to process today. They feel like if they're not walking around really just being a know-it-all that all the time, that nobody will take them seriously. And it couldn't be more the opposite. When you show up vulnerably and say, like, I'm dealing with problems, like this is what I'm dealing with right now, you get the answers that you need, but also you are relating to people. You're relating to people. People don't relate to your third eye because that's just some fucking side quest you're on. The heart is the best way to connect with other people. The journey of the human life is the journey of the heart. And if you don't feel comfortable doing this publicly, then just take up a tapping practice, because hearing yourself say where the conflict is will loosen that conflict on you. Next question, please.
As a 3-5 generator, I'm used to trial and error, but when it comes to launching offers, I freeze. I get stuck in imagination, fear, being too much. Right now, extra cash flow isn't optional. I'm in survival mode. How do you move forward when you're energetically sensitive but need to act, especially in a space that feels saturated and gate kept?
The need to act has to outweigh the feeling energetically, however you're feeling. Like, you need money, so get to work. Do you want to go work for somebody else? You want to go get a restaurant job? Like, no. Okay, so get to work. The thing about the 3 line is that if you're not trying publicly, you're not trying. So the 3 line has this really strong desire after all their failures to be like, and now I'm older and wiser, and I'm going to go behind this velvet curtain and I'm going to reveal my perfect problem-free prototype. That's not trying. The 6 line gets a velvet curtain after they turn 30. The 3 line never gets a velvet curtain. I am a 3 line, so my whole life. be willing, Grimes had a tweet a long time ago where she's like, I'm going to try this new thing. It's going to be a lot of trial and error. It's not going to be perfect on the same round, but we're just going to try it and let's just see how it goes. That's the energy. And honestly, the more experienced people are in business, the more forthcoming they are that it's not going to be perfect on the first try. When it comes to launching, just keep throwing stuff out there and see if and find what works. But a launch is not going to make all your money problems go away, especially if it's your first launch. Like you can try it, but if you're in red zone survival mode, then do two things. Get that first launch out as soon as possible so you can find out what kind of interest and money you're dealing with. Know that the first launch is not going to be nearly as successful as future launches, and do whatever you need to do to take some of that pressure off financially. If it were me, I would literally try and get as many house cleaning jobs as possible because I can be sober. I can be left to my own devices. I can do something that furthers my spiritual practice. I would pretend that I was in an ashram literally every single day, and you can listen to your spiritual lectures and work on things mentally the entire time. That's the number one job that I would do, and also super easy to scale as well. I knew a really talented priestess of Ifa who also ran a cleaning business that ended up being like way more successful than she ever thought it would be. She ended up hiring a lot of different girls, and she thought that she was going to make all of her money through doing Opele readings on at the Botanica, but she ended up just making a fucking shit ton of money in her cleaning business. So it could surprise you.
How much time a day do you spend on making social media posts and writing emails? And when you only had a handful of people on your email list, where did they come from?
Oh yeah, no problem. So now I spend hardly any time whatsoever. I record a video. My husband records a video of me. I send that raw copy to Pure, my video editor, with a title and a caption, and then he handles the actual like posting of things. It used to take me 20 minutes really just to get one post onto all the platforms. If it was just on Instagram, it wouldn't be so bad. But putting it on all the platforms, because there's not too much crossover on them in my experience. It's been really helpful to have Pure, so thank you, Pure. But writing an email I do for me. My newsletters have always been for me. I'm writing because I need to process something, because I need to figure it out, and I need to get a witness on it. So it takes as long as it takes. I'd say, when I wrote something the other day. It's always when the kids are napping. And if I feel like if the kids are waking up, then I have to like wrap it up really fast. I wrote this piece about using occult magic to write a book, and it probably took me an hour and 15 minutes, but I don't edit it whatsoever. However it comes out is what you guys are getting. The best time to edit is after you hit send. And that's just how all of the newsletters have been. And that's what people have come to love from me, is it's just like hearing me talk. It's very, like you'll straight up see me type like, oh my God, I got to go pee so bad. And it'll just be like, we're talking to each other.
I've been stuck at point 3 starting my business for about a month. I'm just starting to be able to develop a routine to get past this point. Definitely got distracted on a side quest. Do you have any other advice for moving through the first shock?
I do, but I wouldn't be able to tell you. I wouldn't be able to tell you from here. So like if starting a business, I can tell you how it should be. Starting a business, and you need an adjective there. So like starting a profitable business would be, it really depends on where you put your 369. But how I would do it is that starting. Oh, this is a hard question for me. I need to see her Enneagram to be able to check it. This would just be way too long. I need to see what math she's working with and not the math I think she should be working with. Most likely, I need to see her Enneagram for this to check her math. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to reset my kids. Hey, guys. I'm doing my Q&A over here, guys, in private. Even if you guys aren't going to be very quiet, okay? Next question, please.
This coffee is so bad.
I don't know what is up with this one, but it's so bad. Boy.
Pondering non-duality, how do opposites apply in non-duality, like right and wrong? If something
There is-
feels
But
wrong,
that's not the thing. There's no opposites in non-duality. Like there's no opposites in non-duality. So let's look at the symbol of the yin yang. The yin yang is not showing two opposites and saying, oh, opposites attract. They're saying it's one thing, it's one unit in a constant state of movement, that there's a time for everything. So if you were like good and evil, I mean, that just doesn't, good and evil are not, right and wrong are not things that exist in non-duality. Those concepts do not have a place in non-duality. It is the absence of those concepts that creates non-duality. So let's take out good and evil. Let's say, for example, that all your life you've assigned good to the liberal political party and bad to the Republican political party. There's a right time for everything. Have you guys ever noticed that it's so strange to get really sucked into American politics, because it's like they only ever get such a short amount of time anyway, right? So the one party comes in and says, we're making all these changes. And then the next party comes in and undoes all those changes. And the next party goes, oh, well, now we're doing this. And then the other one says, oh, well, we're not doing this anymore. And there's like no actual progress that can be made because everyone's just constantly like knocking each other's Lego party down. But from a spiral dynamics perspective, seeing how inane all of this is, and actually Elon Musk does have a point where he's like 43% of Americans are independent. So there should be like a new political party that takes this into consideration and eradicates both of those parties and be like, look, this is stupid. This is fucking stupid. You build a tower, then he knocks it down. And the whole time you're building a tower, the other party says, oh, there's the dumbest tower I've ever seen in my life. And then they get a turn and then they get it, but everyone gets a turn. So it's not like, oh, this is good time and this is evil time. Sometimes it's raining and sometimes it's sunny, but it's assigning right, wrong, good, bad qualities to things that creates the world of duality that we want to escape in order to awaken. Even if we were to just assign like pain and pleasure, sometimes it's really good to experience some pain. Sometimes it's really good to go really like hoof it out at the gym. Other times it's time to get a massage. Like there's a time for everything. And this is the essence of non-duality, is that at the right time, everything is perfect.
next, if I receive
I did a jujitsu class this morning, a private jujitsu class. I did some platonic mount positions with our jujitsu instructor, and it's so fucking cool. But my kids are kind of tapped because I'm doing back-to-back lessons today. So we'll definitely, just if you guys were interested in how like my family runs, if we have a day like today where my kids are kind of tweaking and it's hard for me to be at work, by the time I get off of work, I'm not going to throw my hands up and get frustrated at everybody and say, oh my God, you guys aren't respecting my boundaries as a teacher. Like we take into consideration as a family, wow, it was hard for us to do these back-to-back lessons. Therefore, we'll move mommy's jujitsu lesson to Thursday and let daddy do his jujitsu lesson on Friday so that it's not back-to-back with the kids without their mom. And we are constantly, we have a meeting every single day about how the day is going to go and anticipating where it's going to be shitty and doing our best to resolve that.
If I receive insights while meditating after smoking a small amount of bud, do you reckon I can trust these insights? It helps me focus and stay still. Otherwise, meditation feels forced and uncomfortable, completely sober.
I'm sure. Have you seen my journal? But I'm just going to repeat this order back to you. You are asking me, a teacher, if you can trust something that you're hearing for yourself. That's the first part of this. Why are you asking me if you can trust something that's in yourself? How do you know if you can trust something in yourself? For me, sometimes have to learn by data that I couldn't trust that logic. Sometimes, you know, you just have to fuck around and find out. But let's repeat this order back in its entirety. You're asking me if you can trust what you hear in your head without telling me what it is that you're hearing. In general, can you trust what you hear in your head when you're meditating and smoking weed because you have a hard time meditating if you're not smoking weed? That's just that. That's just that. There is no right and there is no wrong, but fucking sitting in sobriety anywhere is hard. But it's only hard in the beginning. Sitting in sobriety and meditation, sitting in sobriety at a party where you're the only one not drinking or smoking, like it's a thing. But if you need to get stoned to meditate, I understand that it's more fun, but weed generates a lot of thoughts. You're probably making meditation a lot harder on yourself. Now, there's no law that says that you have to meditate, but if you're going to do it, like, do it. If you have to smoke weed to make meditation like something you like, just don't meditate. It's not that big of a deal. Yeah, everybody wants to quit smoking, but then there's people that actually do it. There's never a good time to quit smoking. Like, there's literally never a good time to quit smoking weed. Never. It's just time. It's just time.
I am still in wheels and have been stuck at the Visuddha.
Can I just pause for 1 second? If you're at the point where you're asking people if smoking weed is okay, that's like a pretty serious point to be at. Know what it is that you're looking for other people. Are you looking for someone to say, yeah, it's fine? Then what happens when you find out that it's not fine for you? Are you going to blame that person? No, they said it was fine. And if somebody tells you, no, it's not fine, and then you cut it out, and every time it's a struggle for you, you're like, oh, fuck this person. They don't know me. This is my medicine. Like, these are calls that you have to make for yourself. But if you're at the point where you need somebody to validate something that you're putting into your body that's altering your conscious multiple times a day, like, you need to have some agency. You need to have some agency. You know what I noticed all the time at a bar as a bartender that was really funny is, this is super common and all the bartenders in the house will know what I'm talking about. This isn't going to be that blowjob joke again, by the way. But bartenders in the house here, this might be a good short. But you'll have these regulars that come in and they'll take they'll finish their beer like this. And then they'll push it towards you, the empty bottle, but they won't order another beer. And then they push it, you know, closer towards you, nudging, but they won't say with their mouth, can I have another beer? When you eventually get the hint and you say, do you want another beer? They go, oh, twist my arm. And you're like, no, nobody's twisting. This is super, super common. All the bartenders will be able to say, I know this for sure. Nobody's twisting your arm. Literally not one person is twisting your arm and forcing you to have another beer. Like, literally not one person. But it's so strange, like this whole psychology of like, well, if I order another beer, then I have to sit with the truth that I'm somebody that at 2 o'clock in the afternoon is rounding my 6th beer. So I'm not going to say the words. I need you to say them for me. It was really interesting behavior. And if you have that problem, I recommend just installing that good solid 12 beer rule that my former fiance had, that he's allowed to have 12 beers before work, but not 13. And just give yourself the gift of a good solid 12 beer rule. If you're going to drink, fucking be proud of it. But don't play this little do-si-do with me, twist my arm. No one's fucking twisting your arm. My favorite comment that I've ever heard on drinking was my former mother-in-law, who said, I'm never giving it up. I'm never giving it up. That's the fucking vibe right there. If you're going to do it, do it. But don't go nudging your fucking beer bottle around to different people, asking them to validate your vices. You know, this is indicative of a problem that you have with it. I don't care if you smoke weed or not. I don't care if you drink or not. But if you're asking people, is it okay if I'm doing this? Like, that's the fucking problem. No one should be answering this question for you. Let's do the next question.
I'm still in wheels and have been stuck on the Vishuddha chakra for a few weeks. The lower chakras were harder overall, but the jealousy is really hard to trace to childhood.
Okay.
Hold on. Okay. I know shame is my jam. What if I cannot trace a jealousy memory to childhood?
Then trace a judgment memory. Then just trace a judgment memory. Try that. We recommend one chakra a week, and we recommend one chakra a week, not just to keep you moving towards the next one, but also to get you out of the one that you're stuck in. So try judgment. Isn't that so weird about the bottle though? All the bartenders are like, oh my God, yeah, such a weird thing to do, such a weird thing to do. I'm like, what are you, a fucking dolphin? Like, use your words, you know? No, they're not even a dolphin, because at least a dolphin goes, uh-uh. Hi, Tiger. You guys see how Hi Tiger Baby looks at me? Okay.
I noticed it's so much easier to do the isn't it wonderful than listing my gratitude. Any theories
Okay.
on why isn't it wonderful works better?
Yes, because gratitude's comparative. And gratitude always drags you out of it. Like, for example, I'm just so happy. Like, they have a gratitude wall on Insight Timer. And it's so, and people like are not in the state of gratitude. Like, someone's like, I'm just so grateful for emergency medical services. No, you aren't. You're pissed that you got sick. So it's like, isn't it wonderful is appreciation. Gratitude's comparative. I'm so happy that I have food, unlike all those children in Gaza. Like, it's it's taking you out of that. So just simple appreciation works much better than gratitude, because there's no comparison.
2 more.
Great.
Could you please advise on how to address being simultaneously inspired and profoundly appreciative of your teachings while also feeling shit scared? Maybe I'm afraid I can't balance being teachable while allowing my own voice to emerge. You've had major
Something this sounds like something that just needs to be ironed out through talking about it. And I think that and the reason why I'm telling you to do this is because I think you're onto something really useful. You're onto something really useful, and useful for your followers as well. But I think you need to like vent this one out. So try writing an essay or try writing a newsletter about how it is that you're feeling, going into it with the conflict. I need to get this thing off my chest because I can't tell if I'm feeling this or if I'm feeling this. And if you don't have a space that you can do that, like try it in feelings room. But I think that you're onto something useful. I think that you're onto something useful, but it's so nuanced and specific to you. And it's only when you're done really kind of getting it out verbally that you'll find that nugget of truth at the bottom of it. That's really what you would be teaching to other people as well, and what you most need to hear as well.
Okay, last one from our students on Safehouse.
Great.
Psychic healer for 20 years. Clients are self-aware entrepreneurs who are hitting financial glass ceilings or stuck in roller coaster income, battling debt and scarcity, stuck in misaligned relationships or marriages, or they're still in soul-sucking jobs, held back by self-doubt. Okay, the short of it is, this student does not want to rely on one-on-one sessions. What kind of scalable offer or structure would allow me to serve these clients more powerfully and grow my income? Because they love your online school model and they already have a platform with classes.
Mm-hmm.
But
So
unsure of how to merge the metaphysical with the practical.
this is like a rite of passage for you, because an entrepreneur that is seeking psychic help as opposed to strategic help, like if an entrepreneur wants more money but they're going to psychic, no offense, but they're going to the wrong place. It's not about worthiness or about psychological blocks to deserving. There's really, it's not coming from that. Maybe a little bit, but usually when you want more money, you just have to work money. It's like something that's strategic. And like, some inner problems might be like pricing your work. So for example, oh, I just don't know how to tell people that this is how much it costs. That might be an internal block to money. But the more classic block is like, I want to sell something for 200, but I don't understand how to get enough people in at 200. Therefore, I have to learn systems, launching funnels, and all of these other things that are like very 3D and honestly like very boring. It would be so much easier if we could go to a psychic and they say, oh, you just need to believe this or whatever, or and it'll move something around. So I think that what it is that you're needing to learn about how to scale and grow your business out of one-on-one and more into the passive space is really also what your clients need to learn. And it's okay to just focus on money for a while. Everything you do will be spiritual. Everything you do will be psychic. But I think that you would see a lot of benefit from just focusing on the financial until it improves. So let me just walk you through the different offerings that we have for that. Rituals to clear all the internal blocks, but also to get strategic. Buckless is how to go from active income one-on-one sessions to passive income. And erotic wealth is how to scale passive income. So you wouldn't be able to do erotic wealth if you don't have some type of passive income pieces, or at least something that could go to passive income. But Buckless is really the conversation about building passive income for the first time, which sounds like where you're stuck at. And erotic wealth, in order to compress it down to the size that it needs to be, we really need to focus on serving that level of business that it's for. And the ideal person for erotic wealth is somebody that has these different things. You know, they have one-on-one offerings, but they also have passive income. This would be someone who's probably doing retreats as well as one-on-one, as well as passive, and they have a lot going on. And what we would help them do is figure out that one piece of their business that's really scalable and doing the systems and teams to make sure that this could go the distance. Because a lot of people's businesses have aspects that are not scalable. And you see big businesses doing this all the time, dipping their hands into merch or dipping their hands over here. I think MailChimp has the strangest ways of MailChimp was doing like an original series for a little bit. And I was like, guys, what's your fucking hedgehog here? You know, like, why are you guys spending money on a fucking mail? Have any of you guys thought, oh, you've got to watch that new show on my fucking newsletter provider? You know, like that's pretty weird, but huge budget allocation there. So erotic wealth is really at looking at the big picture from your business, stepping away from that nose to the grindstone, seeing what's possible for you and your business in the big picture, as well as what's stopping you from getting there, and then growing into the type of person that can handle what it is that you want, because you're not it right now. So those are the three different base camps that we meet people at when it comes to teaching people about business and money. At the base camp for ritual, people are like, I don't know what I want to do, or I'm in a financial plateau and I just want to get my money brain on straight. It's very strategic. What are you going? What's your game plan? How do you plan on getting there? And all of the classic blocks that people go through. People do this as like an entry level, but also a lot of people come around and do it every year because it's just nice to have a date night with money. Buckless is specifically about passive income and making that transition with your first passive income product and setting it up on a sales funnel so that you can make sure that the energy you're putting into launching is reusable, but is also optimized to make sure that when you're putting all that energy into launching, you're getting the maximum amount of money for that energetic investment. And then erotic wealth is really, once you've got a business that's good, how do you make that business great? Because good is the enemy of great, and you need to know that. For somebody whose highest aspirations is like doing a lot of one-on-one coaching one day, you would stay in ritual and Buckless. It's an advanced business class, and people don't want to accept this, but sex magic is advanced magic, and we're going to have to go a lot faster teaching erotic wealth this time. We're not going to get so into it with couples, but it's like, if you've never heard in your life that you might be a person that has problems, like you're really, and advanced magic, you really welcome criticism, and you're like, great, I really want to grow here. And if you're the type of person where you're like, well, I have no problem with that, but my partner sure does, you might really have a problem with it. So let's, that's a wrap for us today. I want to thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for your interesting questions to my kids today. That was really fun. I love seeing my kids come with me to work, or even just being, this connection between working and money, but also loving working for money, and seeing that the things that you really love can also translate to income, even if my kids are just kind of fly on the wall. Watching me love what it is that I do. I'm very happy with what that brings to them. And thank you all so much for being here today. And I will see you next week. Saraswati, we can come that in. Well, actually, wait, are you guys here next week? You guys are here next week. It's easier for me to just knock out the Q&A. So we'll do Q&A live next week, but who knows? Maybe we'll be in the same exact. Wow. Cool. All right. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful day. Bye. Categorically saying goodbye to people. Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day here. See you next time.